What do we know so far about the earthquake that struck Cebu lately? So some comments or insight from a geologist. Una, we know that was generated by a strike slip fault na up to that point hindi pa raw siya namamapa. Base sa quick response survey na ginawa ng PHIVOLCS, na-identify nila na isa siyang right lateral fault. So bagaman yung epicenter was part of a fault na nakalubog sa dagat several kilometers of Bogo City, the PHIVOLCS team was able to discover na may onshore or nasa lupa na extension yung fault na yun. So pinangalanan nila itong Bogo Bay Fault. Ang mainam dito, at least this newly mapped out fault joins several other known faults sa Cebu, like the Central Cebu Fault System and yung Bogo Fault na iba pa doon sa Bogo Bay Fault, nakakadiscover lang ng PHIVOLCS. Meron din yung daan bantay lineament, but we're not really sure kung anong klaseng fault siya. It's poorly studied fault. Ikalawa, yung lindol na nangyari sa Cebu lately, it was both a strong and shallow earthquake. So why did I emphasize this? Kasi pwedeng mataas ang energy o magnitude ng isang earthquake pero malalim yung focus niya. Kung nagkagayon yung nangyari, naging mahina lang sana yung shaking na naranasan sa surface. However, in the case ng paggalaw ng Bogo Bay Fault, relatively mataas yung energy niya habang mababaw yung focus niya at around 10 kilometers deep. Kaya talagang malakas yung intensity na naramdaman ng maraming tao from that quake. Speaking of intensity, this earthquake shows us na kahit malayo ka from the earthquake epicenter, pwede ka pa rin makaranas ng damage. Yung pag-collapse ng Kisame, ng New Star, yung mga sira sa palengke ng Mandawi, these incidents show us bakit hindi porke malayo ka sa isang epicenter ng fault ay pwede ka na magpakampante. Pwede ring ma-refract ang mga seismic waves when they pass through one type of rock to another. So, considering these things, it is better to err on the side of caution, assume and prepare for the worst pagdating sa disaster risk reduction management. So, bakit ang daming aftershocks? Yung mga bloke ng bato or bloke ng lithosphere na na-displace ng fault, nag-undergo ng bagong state of equilibrium. Dahil hindi perfecto yung main fault movement, may mga nalalabi pang stress na kailangan mailabas yung mga na-strain na bato until maabot yung bagong equilibrium state. So, yung kailangang ma-retransform yung potential energy from the kinetic energy na naidulot ng paggalaw ng fault. Law of conservation of energy, di ba? So, yun. Dahil hindi perfect yung paggalaw ng fault mo, hindi siya perfectly elastic. Kaya nga, may mga parts na kailangan mag-adjust producing the aftershocks. Bakit hindi nag-generate ng tsunami itong earthquake na to? So, it's a strike slip fault yung pinagmulan. So, generally, strike slip faults do not have dramatic na paggalaw ng lupa that would have displaced the water na nasa ibabaw niya. Swerte lang din siguro na wala rin siyang na-trigger na pagguho ng mga bangin sa tabing dagat or sa ilalim ng lupa. Kasi even if the fault does not generate the tsunami directly, pwede pa rin siya magpagguho ng slope sa tabing dagat or ilalim ng dagat that could have indirectly caused yung tsunami. In this case, they were relatively lucky. Hindi naman nangyari yun sa kaso nitong Cebu earthquake. Now, for the part na what we don't know, ano yung hindi natin alam. Contrary to what PHIVOLCS itself claims, hindi talaga natin actually sure kung kailan last na gumalaw tong Bogo Bay Fault na to. Unmapped nga siya, di ba? Nobody knows it was there. So how could you have claimed na 400 years na siyang hindi gumagalaw if you don't even know it existed? Wala pang papers that will show the evidence na 400 years na siyang hindi gumagalaw. We don't know where the PHIVOLCS took this information. Second, we will never be able to predict an earthquake. Let me emphasize this again and again. Hindi natin alam kung kailan darating isang lindol. There were earthquakes na nangyari last year sa Camotes and sa Cebu noong 2013. Pero yung sa 2013, that was as a result ng paggalaw ng North Bohol Fault. It's probable na yung mga earthquakes na yun may transfer ng stress, yung mga faults nila that could have contributed to this earthquake, but it's all a matter of speculation so far. this idea that I'm saying it needs further study. Even then, even if mapatunayan na may nag-transfer siya ng stress, it's still not a surefire way of predicting an earthquake. So far, ito pa lang ang mga alam at di natin alam sa mga nangyari. Iwasan po natin magpakalat ng sensationalized information, magdudulot ng kalituhan at panic sa mga tao. Mag-share lang po tayo ng impormasyon mula sa mga maasahang sources. If you have questions regarding the recent earthquake, please type it in the comments below. If you want to donate, if you want to give assistance sa mga victims, we will share the links also kung saan kayo pwede mag-donate